Court stops FG from ceding 17 oil wells to Imo. The injunctive order was granted to stop an alleged implementation of the ceding of the 17 oil wells to Imo State pending the determination of a suit brought before the Apex Court by Rivers State government. The Apex Court made the order in a chamber ruling in an ex parte application argued by Emmanuel Okala, SAN. The Apex Court restrained the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and the Attorney General of Imo State from taking any further action or the ownership of the disputed 17 oil wells till the ownership disputes surrounding them are resolved. The Apex Court also barred the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and the Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, and the Office of the Accountants General of the Federation from approving, implementing, or giving effect in any manner to a letter from the RMAFC office with reference number RMC blah 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 of the 1st of July 2021, which cancelled the equal sharing of proceeds from the 17 oil wells by Rivers and Imo State. The Apex Court subsequently fixed September 21st for a hearing of the substantive matter. Rivers State, through its Attorney General, had dragged the AGF and the Attorney General of the Imo State before the Supreme Court, praying for a declaration that the boundary between Rivers State and Imo State, as delineated on Nigeria Administrative Map 1011 and 12 editions, and the other maps bearing similar delineations are inaccurate, incorrect, and do not represent the legitimate and lawful boundary between Rivers and Imo State. The plaintiff also sought a declaration that as far as Nigeria's Administrative Map 10, 11, and 12 editions and other maps bearing similar delineations relate to the boundaries between Rivers and Imo, the said maps are unlawful and void, cannot be relied on to determine the extent of the territorial governmental jurisdiction of Rivers State and to determine the revenue accruing to Rivers State from the Federation accounts, including the application of the principle of derivation and other revenue allocation principles as contained in the 1999 Constitution. It further applied that the Supreme Court declare that the correct instrument map and document to be relied on determining the boundary between Rivers and Imo State are those used by the plaintiff in delineating the boundary line between Rivers and Imo State. The plaintiff also sought a declaration that all the oil wells within Akri and embedded communities are wrongly attributed to Imo State and that they are all oil wells within the territory of Rivers State and form a part of Rivers State, and that is the only rivers that are entitled to receive the full allocation of the distributable revenue from the oil wells on the basis of the 1390 derivation as contained under the section 162 of the 1999 Constitution. Rivers sought an order of mandatory injunction directing the AGF to calculate to its satisfaction and refund to it all revenue that has been wrongly attributed to or paid to Imo State on account of the limit or extent of their territories, including earnings due to it from revenue derived from Akri and embedded oil wells. The plaintiff also sought an order of injunction directing the AGF to withdraw from circulation and its administrative map 10, 11, and 12 editions and to refrain from relying on any of the said maps for the purpose of determining the boundary between Rivers and Imo State. Rivers also applied for another order of mandatory injunction directing the AGF to produce an administrative map bearing of the correct boundary between Rivers and Imo State. A sum of 500 million naira was also sought at the cost of prosecuting the case. 500 million naira. Wow. This is so sad because it's just like, this is just the problem. I think this is the problem with the division of states, especially states that are basically the same tribe. Because this is unnecessary division. If we just had southeast, southwest, middle belt, and northeast and northwest, as the major 6 regions in the country, I think things would be better. And I think it would be more united, because there is literally no difference. Yes, of course, there is difference in dialects and difference in, the how we've deviated from one another, but the core of the tribe is still Igbo. So I don't understand why people are laying claim, because this has just become into a whole selfish thing. Why they're laying claim on who owns this oil and who owns that oil, when it's really and truly you all own the oil. If that really makes sense. It's just the misallocation of resources and the wrong hands that make it seem as if only one party should be the one benefiting from the revenues of the oil wells. And it's just like, okay, fine, but then did you have to go through all this? Did you have to go through all these extraness? Like, how greedy can you really be? Because that's a question we really need to ask. We really need to ask. And it's like, we now get into the argument of this state is enjoying this state's resources. I'm like, come on, And I think things would just be easy, because this division of states and making 36 states, it's an avenue for people to just steal even more things. And now it's like, you're fighting for what is yours already. What is the point? Because it's like, there is literally no point trying to analyze all this, because all this is so unproductive. It's counterproductive, because at the end of the day, there is nothing genuine about trying to get the revenues back or anything. The only thing is that they want to make money and maximize how much money they can make, aka revenue and all that. So it's just like, again, I know I've taken a different turn on this, and you may probably want to talk about how, if Imo State has been stealing off River State resources and all that. I mean, that is for you. If you want to talk about that in the comment section below, you can definitely do that. That is absolutely fine. But the thing is, it's just really unwise to fight for something that's already yours, and for you not to understand, and for you to lack the skills to just see that this is basically a ploy to divide you guys. Because then, if you guys are like this, fighting like this, how do you think the Igbo presidency will work? Because I'm now very confused. Because again, the North that you guys say is disorganized, nepotism, all that. As much as you may argue if it's effective or if it's even legal or it's even moral, but there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy where there's a system that they all understand, in which they are allies to each other, even though they're elites within that allies, but then they are so loyal to each other to the bone that even when they're doing something wrong, they will still be loyal to one another. We still don't have that kind of loyalty yet in the Southeast. And it's just like, fine, we're not saying the North is not corrupt or they're not part of this whole corruption, but it's just like they gatekeep. They gatekeep what is theirs. As in, do you know what gatekeeping is? You gatekeep your resources, you gatekeep your profits, you gatekeep. Even when you are stealing what is not yours, you are still gatekeeping what is not yours. That is how good they are, and that shows the strength of their unity. Even though, yes, they may not all be benefiting from the same thing. I mean, to a very large extent. We can't pretend like as if they're all living better lives, but still, that's what I have to say. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.